Now, Heartland Sports with Luke Randall.
Well, we're all playing catch-up this week. Sports is just the same. The Scott, Mississippi County girls basketball tournament resuming after an extended break. We're at Orion High School. Scott County Central and Chaffee facing off. Bravettes bringing it in the first quarter. Madison Claffer right there on the offense. Defensively, she's able to turn in a good block right here. Scott County now with the ball. Eventually, Chaffee gets it back, and they are looking to score, assert their dominance in this game. Eventually, after passing it around for a bit, Kirsten Arnold right there for the mid-range. Now on offense again, Millie Carroll carrying the ball forward. Can't find an option to the left, decides to go right, and Jersey Lynn knocking down the shot right there. Chaffee would eventually take full control of the game, and they come away with the win right there. The second semifinal starting shortly. It's the 6-seeded Kelly Hawks facing the 2-seed Delta for the other spot in the title game. We don't currently have information for when that championship game will be played, though it is still set to be at Orion High School. School not in session today for Jackson, but that didn't stop one Indian senior from locking in his college decision. Matt Carter signing to play college baseball for 2 years at Missouri State West Plains. Much like Jackson, the Grizzlies baseball program continued to invest in the athletes and facilities, and that's a big reason why he's headed there.
Everything I wanted. They just built a new field. They had a great coach. I really liked him. He reminded me just like Coach Roach. And I think I have a good shot at playing 2 years there.
Carter, one of many Jackson seniors headed to play college ball this fall. Adler Flynn and Drew Parsons set to sign for Rend Lake and SEMO, respectively, next month. Staying on the diamond but switching to college, SEMO softball picked to finish first in the OVC ahead of the upcoming season. Redhawks will return last year's All-OVC players Brooklyn Sasoff and Madison Winkler, in addition to former All-Conference player Aubrey Shore, who missed last season with an injury. Redhawks open the season next week in Southern Miss. We'll have more on SEMO basketball's doubleheader later tonight.